Good afternoon, darlings. So today we're going to have a look at the full moon coming up tomorrow and have a look at everything that's been going on the past week. And voila. So full moon tomorrow. Full moon is going to be in Pisces and we're going to have the sun in Virgo. So we'll come back to that in a second. So right now we're approaching, we've got the moon already on the whale's tail, but still just in Aquarius for me. I've got this in London here. So let's see when the moon actually gets onto the whale's tail. So that is happening. That is happening. What time? Time have we got now? Okay, well, it's the time now that moon is already in Pisces. So it will hit Jupiter going retrograde on the whale's tail. So Jupiter was right bang in the middle of the sword in the stone. This is Jupiter. He has no heir. He is not the true heir. So he uses the whale's tail and the wings of Altair, where Jupiter is going to his stationary from tomorrow. And then he is going to start moving forward, that last elastic band before he returns to Capricorn. So we've got Saturn right on the fish tail of Capricorn, the true authority. Pluto is moving from the 9th house, Sagittarius, to the 10th house, because they want to do this merging of Capricorn and Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Europe, Asia with North America. And that is that gap that I've shown you between Russia and between Alaska, Canada. So this is why this date, the 9th of the 10th, is so important, and Pluto moving forwards. Let's get Pluto. So here's Pluto, and he is stationary at the moment. Let's have a look on the numbers so you can see properly. So we got it on Pluto. Here are the numbers. 2960658, and I move the clock forwards and it doesn't move, it's stationary. It starts to go forward on the 9th for the full moon. So Pluto is in the home of Jupiter. Saturn is at home on the tail of the fish goats, and they are bringing up their Merlin. That's why in Asia they've got the Merlin and Jupiter on the whale's tail. And that full moon is going to be on the 9th at the same time. So come back here. I've got the transitions, but I don't need the transitions because the transitions are set for the full moon. So let's just get rid of the transitions. So we see Mercury is now moving forwards. He is still in Virgo, and we've got the Sun and Venus conjunct, Venus in detriment, opposing Pisces, where we've got the moon. So this axis is very important. It's the Little Mermaid. It's the axis of the age that we're leaving. It's that journey from coronavirus, from corona to virus, from the wine to the alcohol, from flesh to spirits. And we've got Uranus still retrograde, conjunct to the head of the Milky Way snake. And we've got the tail still in Libra. Alpha Omega. And we've got this square from Uranus to Jupiter on the whale's tail, and the moon is going to be conjunct with Chiron, the key, right here. So you see he's getting closer to coming back to Aries. He was discovered in 1977. Dub L 77 is 7 is the letter G. This is GG. This is the Georgia Guidestones. This is the throat, the double throat passage at the throat. I've shown you that there is the male and the female voice. And then there is that passage with the trigger, the tonsils, to bring that spirit. The Little Mermaid loses her voice. So very important full moon. Uranus square to Jupiter. Jupiter semi-square to Saturn, semi-square to a Uranus, and a square from Uranus to Saturn. These two cardinal signs, Uranus in Aries and Saturn on the fish tail. So here's Pluto. He's not yet in Capricorn. He's now on his way. He's moving. They've got him from tomorrow for the full moon, no longer retrograde. He's just stationary today. So this is the subconscious. This is the submarine. The submarine. The moon represents the people. It represents us. It's the unconscious collective in Pisces. And you know that Pluto spent all those years in Cetus in the Victorian era, which I'll be coming to. 1861, Charles Dickens wrote Great Expectations just as Pluto was leaving the beast of the unconscious collective, Pisces. So, of course, Mars as well in Aldebaran, where he's spending this very long period of 7 months between the east and the west, the equinox, and he's also making a square to Jupiter and to Neptune, still in Aquarius, still retrograde. So Mars and Jupiter make Martin. The Queen had a very strong Mars and Jupiter conjunction, and making a trine with Capricorn. We're going to see this big trine here is very much the triangle of the Philosopher's Stone, the squared circle in this triangle between the earth signs, which I'm going to be showing you as we're moving along. Also tomorrow is 9-10, which again shows us it's the 6, the 9 and the 6, the 69, 96. We're coming into the higher vibration of Capricorn 96, leaving Cancer, but the wheel is being closed artificially so that all the mutable signs and high cardinal signs will be merging. So Gemini and Cancer, and Virgo and Libra, Sagittarius, 9th house and 10th sign, Capricorn here, which is this very big movement from Pluto into Capricorn, making the square with Uranus, making the square to Jupiter, because Jupiter wants to merge the ruler of Sagittarius with Capricorn, America and Europe, Asia, Europe, the deer hunter, the bullseye, the throat is the passage through. So let's get going through a week of posts. I just shared that popped up in a memory from 2 years ago. So that was an 84-day countdown to Brexit. So 84 days is the 84 years of the cycle of Uranus. Half of 84 is Jupiter, 42. And at that time, we had the moon. So what's important here is you see that Europe is in the shape of the scorpion and also Texas. So we've got the double-headed eagle, Paris, Texas, Travis and his son Hunter, and the pink jumper. She's famous in that film for wearing her pink jumper, which we always see like in A Fish Called Wanda. She's got her hooker poot, that pink colour, and we have in France, October is pink month, so pink umbrellas up everywhere, and the pink AIDS and cancer, very similar sign, which is always to celebrate the 69 of Cancer, Cali. So your double-headed eagle, the double-headed eagle, the eagle represents Scorpio rises again as an eagle. We have to get through the throat to find the crown, otherwise the spine and the head, the balloon, the cue, the stick, the wand, the staff, and this, which can either be Pluto or Venus or Mars. Pluto making that journey under the eagle right now into Capricorn, and we've got to get through the throat. There's the gorge, George, killing the snake as Mars and Venus merge on the equinox with the sun and the moon. Pluto is moving forward. This is, Taurus is ruled by Venus. We've got Mars in Taurus, and he's spending that equinox dates. So that famous video that I've showed you, where we can't see here, but I've done the video, and it's that date, the 23rd of the 9th in September to the 22nd of the 3rd are the numbers of the two runners that they're looking at in their picture. You've got the handicap runners for the I Am Games, and that timing is the timing of Mars in Taurus. So on the 23rd of the 9th for that date, so for this full moon, we've got the moon conjunct to Jupiter, and on that date, the 23rd of the 9th, we had 23rd of the 9th, where was the moon? Yep, the moon was bang. The moon was bang on Regulus, and Venus was just about to enter Virgo in detriment here. So this is making the lion, the Merlin, the Asian king, keeping control as they merge Sagittarius and Capricorn when it should be Capricorn and Aquarius. So in Uno's last video, Apocalypse, Russian submarine, Pluto moving into Capricorn, Jupiter the ruler on the fish tail. Marine is the name of the French far-right party. Marine, Mars, Marine. So that number again, 23-9, he's pointing out in the video. So this is all about North Korea, so Asia and Russia. And this is about Pluto moving forward. This is the submarine. It's our subconscious. It's the whale. It's the beast under the water. So a very good video, but you see this big sub has left port. Well, this is exactly day 223. So that is Skull and Bones. That is Skull and Bones reversed. I always said we've gone from the flip-flop. So VC, V is number 3, VC, V is the 22nd, and 3 is B. So BBC, CV, C is the 3rd letter, V is the 22nd, so 322, reversed, VC, CV, coronavirus, VC, CV. Now they're showing us the flip-flop. So V22, C3, skull and bone, telling us Pluto moving out of the skull and bone cross into Capricorn. This is their most important move now. It's all about popping our subconscious or not. So we'll just finish this. You see the double-headed eagle, the 2 sides. We've got that scorpion facing right and left. So this is what I wrote, sharing that video of Uno yesterday. Gas, high cardinal Capricorn, where Pluto begins forward movement tomorrow. So he's stationary now, he's moving forward. He's going from stationary to direct. After 244 years away, he will enter Capricorn. Ceci n'est pas une pipe. Ceci n'est pas une pipe. So that video of Uno is all about the pipelines. The pipelines, and I've told you the gas, high cardinal pipelines that run across the countryside where I am, and I think everywhere you can see the pipeline journeys. I've covered that in many videos. But this is the famous painting by René Magritte, and it says this is not a pipe. So here you've got your Sherlock Holmes pipe. It's a pipe, but a pipe in French is a blowjob. Joe Biden, Boris Johnson, Boaz Jackin, James Bond, the JB Solar Lunar Pillars, Nightingale, Wind in the Willows, Wild is the Wind, the pipe of peace. The Indians always have their pipe and they make their little signals. So reminded me his video with it being focused on the pipelines, and winter is here, and are they going to snake? I've always said they might do something in my region. So ceci n'est pas une pipe. Incy Wincy Spider climbs the drain pipe. As I've shown you in my village, the 5-pointed star. There is my village, the 5-pointed star. And we've got on the church here with the cherry on the top. We've got the drain pipe with the labyrinth right on that drain pipe. In our village, sits on the pipe, and our postcode is 32290, and Falcon was sent into space by Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister at Falcon 9 at 3:22 p.m. So this is important. We're at the North Polaris. We're at the Dragon Well here. There are gas pipes that snake through our region too. Horizon flip-flop. So the skull and bone cross marks the spot, and they're trying to keep hold of the hooker put in French. Splash, Will.i.am, tell, postcode 32290, skull and bone cross, 9 Sagittarius, 10 Capricorn. So that's the full moon on the 9-10, and that it's the end of the axis of the Pisces Virgo, and they want to flip us to that Romulus and Remus Sagittarius Gemini, back to that Asian energy, Korea, Asia, Russia, Asia. It's all in the same area. It's all that part. It's all Sagittarius. So Jupiter at home on the whale's tail. And on the 23-9, Sun and Venus were still in Leo and Moon was on Regulus, as I just showed you. Putin, horizon, Zion, Putin. Full moon in Pisces, sea, subconscious. This is the submarine, sun in Virgo, whore of Babylon, mermaid with legs, till 322 is the equinox. So this period from the 23rd of the 9th to the 22nd of the 3rds is that equinox, east to west, double-headed eagle, and that Scorpio is Europe, is Scorpio, and Texas is Scorpio. So this joining of the 55 kilometers between Russia and Alaska to make the crown, to crown their double-headed eagle, when this just represents the anima and the animus and us passing the throat, Taurus. They've got Mars in Taurus at the moment. Mars rules the V for victory, the head, the hippocampus, and Mars rules Scorpio, the V for the sexual organs. So, you know, Mars in Taurus at the moment is making that Instagram. Equinox, Elizabeth, Taurus, Tudor, Rose, Torso, Line, Pipelines, Pip. So Pip is the pipe. I showed you Pip in Great Expectations, written by Charlie Dickens, Moby Dick. 1861, book Great Expectations. So 1861 is again, that's not 1986. But there's always that connection to 1986, 1968, 1686, 18... Anyway, I'm getting confused now. So book Great Expectations came out the year Pluto left Cetus, Moby Dick, the subconscious collective in Pisces, Marine, Marianne, Virgo, Peep, BJJB, blowjob, is a pipe. Pluto moves forward from stationary tomorrow in Sagittarius, 10th to 10th sign from Pisces. So that's the 10th sign from Pisces to Sagittarius. That makes 10 signs for them to finish that double-headed eagle. That's from Pisces, when Pluto was in Pisces, and it's moved all the way around. This represents the whale's tail, all the eagle in Sagittarius. You've got both. So Pluto was in Cetus in the Victorian era, and now he's gone all the way round and he's ending in the 9th house, Sagittarius, and they want to crown these two together, Sagittarius and Capricorn. So full moon 9, 10, 10, 6, ceci n'est pas une pipe, a trahison des images. So that is a trahison, is a it's something that's false, it's an illusion, it's not true, it's a betrayal. A betrayal of images is a 1929 painting by Belgian surrealist painter René Magritte. It is also known as This Is Not a Pipe, The Wind and the Song. Marguerite, so Mary Magdalene, painted it when he was 30 years old, The Cycle of Saturn. It is on display at the Los Angeles LA Woman, the Angle Country Museum of Arts. So more about this passage, the Philosopher's Stone, Atlas, carrying that throat passage but not standing up straight. And I think that I'm going to start with this post because this is talking about your Dab L to become the one singularity. The two 90-degree angles each side of the neck is the LL77 GG, because 77 is GG, the seventh letter, or the VV Gorge George G7 passage. 99 red balloons is just double 90-degree angles. PP, or it's GG. Prince Philip died at 99. So 99 is also like 96 or 69. Just flip the 6. Red balloons is the head and the spine. Dub L 90-degree angles become 071. The orb and the sceptre. Spine, head, wand. Fifth element is the V, the pointed star, V22. The Nile and the staff, the Milky Way are all about the Christmas tree. Vert arbre, vertebrae, spine, line, Nile. Cue stick, pool, billiard, cue, snooker. Indoor sports played on a rectangular tablecloth. There are 6 mesh hole holes in the 4 corners and the long side in the middle. The player uses a long stick, which is called the cue, stab the orbs to get points according to the rules. So there is also in this full moon a mystic rectangle, exactly as the balls are lined up for this cue. So I went to check because Aleister Crowley is famous for his Lucifer's rectangle, and I wanted to see if it was the same. It's between Taurus and Pisces, and between Virgo and Scorpio. So we've got this full moon on this angle of Pisces and Virgo, and we've got Taurus, we've got Mars going retrograde, and in Scorpio, there's nobody in Scorpio at the moment, but I need to look into that more. I've looked. So the eye in the triangle is the squared circle, and it's published by New Falcon Publications. So there's your altar. Right, so let's look at these pictures. 7, 7. Don't lose your head. Toulouse. Toulouse. I always tell you about. We've got the pink town. It's known as they've got their pink square, red square. So this angle here, this is Atlas that carries the world on his shoulders that we're going to come to. The most sacred part of the human body is the brain and spinal system, revered from all antiquity and symbolized again and again in all religions of the world. While other parts of the body are of great interest to the student, the mysterious working of the spinal fires by means of which liberation is finally attained is so tremendous that many years must be spent in understanding even the fundamental principles. The spine is the rod which budded the Yggdrasil tree, the flaming sword, the staff of comfort, the wand of Maggie. Maggie. So this is the spine and the ball. Got the phases of the moon here. Again, you know these images. This is the Nile. This is the Cairo. We had that Suez boat blocking here last year. There she is. So here is the M and the W of the Milky Way. This is the neckline and your 2 V for victories. The ZZ tops, the W, the M, Milky Way, MM, 13, 13, 26, meter, 8, 8, the breath, baleine of life. So that's the whale in French is the baleine. So it's either a ball of hate or you find your true voice, your true breath. The NZ, it's also the N, it's also the NZ of New Zealand, it's also 2 Zs. The V for victory, the LL, 77VV11 is your head, the peak, the pick, the night, the nick, the nick, ta mère, cap in Capricorn is not la vache qui rit. Got to make that 90-degree angle from Aquarius to Taurus. So again, this is what's happening to people as they look down at their telephones. They're carrying the world on their shoulders. They're not standing up straight. You can see the spine and the ball here. And the torso carries the organs. So 42 pounds, positioning computer screens too low. 12th house is the true passage of the Vesica Pisces, Pisces. 32 and 42, Jupiter, 32. Very interesting, those numbers there. How heavy is your head? 42-pound head, that's Jupiter. Remember to look up. She sung that head, London Grammar. Lose your heads. Lose your heads. Don't lose your head. Carry On films. Remember those? Don't lose your heads. Another song, Don't Lose Your Head. Something else, Don't Lose Your Heads. Got the Beheaded, Shakespeare, the Beheaded, D'Artagnan. It's always this Buffalo Bill character with his little beard. So there's King Charles I. Don't lose your heads. Showing us the two angles here, the two V's, and there's no heads. The true, you've got to have your head up to make the true angles. London Grammar, lose your heads. So, you know, showing very well this voice angle, the last 7. Okay, the cue and the stick, snooker, billiard, the square, the squared circle, and again, that's the spine and the head, the cherry, and they're separated to bring up the cherry, the virgin, Virgo on the ice cream, the ice queen, ice cream. And I showed you the constellation of the fly, Lord of the Flies, the children. It's killing the snake, the Milky Way, North and South nodes, birthing a new egg. This is the throat passage, the double-headed eagle, the sun and the moon should merge so that you have that passage through the throats. Pink Panther, always holding that ball, and he's got the stick and the ball. Again, Queen Elizabeth, Pluto. Queen Elizabeth, the plasma events. Missing leg, last swords. And we've got here 4, all for one and one for all. You need the 4th one to make the 5th. It's the eggheads. Eiffel Tower is your eye. Fell. You need the heads. It's the spine with no head. The Liberty Pole, that noddy hat. And again, you see the shoulders of the snake. The snake, this fiery serpent on the pole. The rose line, the Tudor rose, the Elizabeth line. The jellyfish, the lungs, that jellyfish, and finding that last 7. Or we lose our head, that's the hangman. William Tell holding up the whale's tail. William Telltale, we got the peak of the mountain, making the archer, merging the archer with Capricorn, Sagittarius, 9th house with 10th house tomorrow, 9-10. 7 becomes 1. Breath in, out becomes 1. Paul, the new man. Again, the double-headed eagle. The spine is the 33. It's the Jacob's ladder. Find that middle path. So interesting here as well. 25 mobile, 24 mobile, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar and 7 cervical, 9 fused. All the different crosses, you know that. The 7-7, the Cairo, the bird, the last angle, the last 7-7, that upright birds. And the peace sign is the hung upside down. You find your head. 21 pilots, 2 reds, 2 red cherry heads. 77, you turn back to front, it makes the triangle. 777. It's Mercury retrogrades. 99 red balloons, it's the spine and the heads. She's called Elizabeth Carpenter. Gigi is the 99. MGM. Louis Jordan. Jacob's Ladder. Maurice Chevalier, I've shown you that many times. 99 red balloons, and we're back to the beginning. Now I can show you this pose, the Philosopher's Stone. It is the bullseye, squared circle, circus, circuit, Atlas, Taurus rules the gorge, throat, voice. From material worth to spiritual freedom through the voice. The philosophers rejected the true stone. They chose the heart, torso, Aldebaran, the flesh. It's from heart to head, HH 88. Last angle, leg, le, to Formaholt. So from Aldebaran to Formaholt, air, breath, spirit. It is the last 90-degree Taurus to Aquarius, 90-degree angle, Angus. So Venus rules Taurus, and as Libra opens the true third eye, that Venus becomes then exalted in Aquarius. Venus, when it's really using that heart for all humanity, for the bigger picture, for being visionary, for looking ahead, for being Father Air with that Mother Air, Mother Earth. So Taurus is the mother and Capricorn is the old wise Gaia. It is the last 90-degree Taurus to Aquarius, 90-degree angle. Angle, Angus, angle, Aigle. Atlas carries the world on his shoulders, celebrating the fertility green man. Uranus, Api, bull god. Fifth wave is your head. You pass through the bullseye, heart to breath, air. In Euclidean geometry, squaring the circle was a long-standing mathematical puzzle that was proved impossible in the 19th century. The term also has been used as a symbol in alchemy, particularly in the 17th century, and it has a metaphorical meaning attempting anything that seems impossible. Aldebaran, one of the 15 fixed stars mentioned by Cornelius Agrippa in 3 books of occult philosophy, is one of the 4 royal benign stars. Aldebaran is the eye of the bull constellation, Taurus, and is one of the brightest stars in the sky. Each of the 15 Benny stars are assigned certain stones and plants, which are also referenced by Agrippa. Aldebaran is given the stones ruby and carbuncle. So we've got the ruby. Mars in Taurus, going to go retrograde from the 30th after the 25th eclipse of October, around that bullseye again. The plants, milky thistle and martyr silver. Every fixed star is also associated with 2 planets, Aldebaran being Mars and Venus, so ruling that equinox. With Venus coming into play, you can begin to understand why Aldebaran enjoys the finer things in life with high quality. Aldebaran is about getting what it wants and enjoying it. Fine fabrics, wealth, jewels, fine foods, and power are sure to follow when one would employ those items of great potency. So this is something I found regarding manga. They've created an Aldebaran gold god in manga. So, you know, this is Moloch you can read that, but it's basically giving you all the mythology which they now teach children through manga, the great horn of Aldebaran, where Mars will hit the peak on the 25th. It's going to hit that horn on the 25th. So we've got for the eclipse Venus in detriment in Virgo that rules Taurus and that rules Libra, where the tail of the snake is on the 25th. He's right on the peak of that horn. Right. So there you see the passage through the throat, or forever holding the world. Your material is that feather heavier than your heart. Squared in the circle. And this has just been shown by crop circles that I'm going to show you. The fifth wave. The fifth wave. This is in Portugal. This is where we become animal. Animals have no voice. They bellow below the belts. It's not a man. Instagram. It's the same thing as the Merlin with his surfboards. So look down here, what have we got today? An octopus on my Google. Day, worldwide world of the octopus today. The umbrella, the opening and shutting of the diaphragm, Medusa. So just happens to be today as Pluto moves forward and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, where Pluto moves forward and Jupiter on the whale's tail, the Moby Dick. And there is the octopus woman who sang in The Fifth Element, also in that film Diva. Okay, NATO, that's Texas, the cherry and the Eiffel Tower, exactly on the scorpion, the spine, the double-headed, V for victory. Mars rules the hippocampus and Mars rules the sexual organs, the spine. Mars going around in Aldebaran, exactly what we see here. Saint-Hubert, I show you every time. I'm not going to stop on all this. You know all these pictures off by heart. So that is the mutable cross, but a line has been put through to create the A, the same A we see in the Eiffel Tower. Two lines crossed, infinity in all four directions, all for one and one for all. So going from the mutable cross back to the cardinal and fixed, Aquarius, Capricorn. But what have they done? Created a defined space. Adding the third line creates a definable area, finite, limited, definable. Alpha, Omega. So some people are going to make the passage through and some are going to remain in material. The 14 pieces of Osiris cut into 14 pieces at this passage. There you've got the three, the monster, and Charles III is this nun, the nun, Virgo, full moon. This passage in Pisces, Virgo. And St. Andrews is the same thing. It's the cross with the dragon in the middle. Got to get past this. He is playing the energy of the uncle, the mad professor, like in Back to the Future. But in Back to the Future, they've just got one boy. They've got Michael J. Fox. They don't have the girl and the boy. DNA strands have got to get past the uncle. 73, the fish, the Vesica pieces, the age of Charles. And that lion now blocks the cross, the Milky Way, Api, the bull god. So he's got his head, neck lowered, and the snake is, we've got the M here, so that spine is now flat on the horizon. It's not standing up straight. Coming into this fertility god, the green man taking away the fertility. This is the bullseye. This is the apple of William Tell. It's the apple of Adam and Eve. And then this brings us to the elephant, what they showed us, the Hierophant, they showed us the Arc de Triomphe, the elephant with no heads. And I've showed you all that. That's just the hat in The Little Prince. The 16e and the 7e is 7-7. This is Armistice, making that orange Jaffa, masculine axis, red and yellow merge for orange, and the black and white grey. A10, Pluto from Pisces to Sagittarius is 10 signs. And the 10th house is Capricorn. St. Louis, Texas, Paris, Texas, the Passage, Isis, Osiris and Horus, the red cherry, the cobra, and those are the bull's horns where Mars is now. The egg, the Hebrew word for egg. And they show us the egg to open up that Ukraine war. And I showed you him showing his antlers, the eggheads, the meter. They're showing you the bull and the elephants. That's from The Little Prince. Barber, the wild world, the Nazi and the barber. Historians are like blind men trying to describe the Nazi elephant. The caped hero is not the cap. This is Sagittarius. Sagittarius on the elephant, Capricorn, and making it into the Hierophant, the Joker. This is a cape. This is the masked hero. This isn't the cap, the peak of Capricorn. Truman Show, those 12 last spine vertebrae, the last 12 to make the 33 to get through the door, Milky Way. Issachar wheels, the proton, the electron, and the neutron. This is the whirlwinds that we're going through now. Okay. The thing I posted from 2 years ago, everybody seems to like that, so I'll read it to you. It's not that complicated, it's real simple. We bring heaven to earth, we bring spirit into flesh, not the reverse. Unconscious humans use spirit with no intellect nor heart, aka no middle pillar. That's the danger. We need sun, solar pillar, fire for masculine emotions and virile spirit to become self-assertive, severe, and to have an ego and an identity. We need moon, water, feelings, feminine spirit to have mercy, grace, and sensitivity, compassion, and nurturing unconditional love and acceptance. But once we obtain that spirit, we have to merge it into our flesh, earth, heart, core, essence. Venus, Taurus, female, 5-petaled gateway to the intellect, air, Libra, Venus, air, 5-pointed eye. Masculine, middle pillar with earth. And when we do that without swinging between the severity and mercy, we become centered. We become the mid-L pillar, abracadabra. We ignite our root red sexual organs, V, Scorpio, feminine water, and we blast off third eye in the V for victory, head, Mars, Aries, masculine fire. And Venus, Libra, pops open into the 5-pointed star when the equinox is on Aquarius, air, just as I said. Then Venus becomes her true energy in Aquarius, and we pop our Libra air third eye, so it's no longer the arsehole hung upside down. You stand up straight in the middle with air and earth. From DNA Gemini, twins, air, masculine, through her earth, feminine heart, or watch forever by the eye. Haven't seen this from Lars. These are the true dates. There is no 13th sign. And you can find your true astrology sign by looking here. It's got the times as well. So Jody, this is very good. 12th house, the Great Escape. This is Hotel California. The unconscious collective is now passing as fish through the Hotel California 12th house. It's the last door. There are 12 thoracic vertebrae donated as 1112 found in adult humans, and they are situated in between the cervical and lumbar vertebrae, with a general sizing larger than the cervical but smaller than the lumbar vertebrae. And then that song, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell, and I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle, and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. This is all your throat passage. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California, 12th house. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California any time of year. You can find it here. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. She got the Mercedes-Benz. She's got a lot of pretty, pretty boys that she calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I called up the captain. Please bring me my wine, he said. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. Again, 69. And still those voices are calling from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. It's the house of secret enemies. Mirrors on the ceiling, pink champagne on ice. And she said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the night man. We're programmed to receive. You can check out any time you want, but you can never leave. They missed that out in the lyrics. Interesting. So she describes very well, and I added a little picture again. This is what I live with, the whole of the 12th house. Saturn rules the door into my 12th house. Saturn is conjunct to my sun, to my north node. So I've got 3 signs, a duplicated 12th house. So all my planets are working between 6th and 12th, and that's it. I'm basically here to show you through this 12th house. You know, I could have ended up, I've had a lot of hidden enemies. I'm still surrounded by slanderers, and somebody just pointed out to me that it said to me, are you aware of the, what was it she said, the smear campaign going on about you? So I said, please send me an email. I'm so used to it, but it just can't touch me anymore. There really is a moment that you get through, and this is, finding to being in this world, but not of this world, and finding the ability to come back in and out without making it the great escape. So this is Netflix, you know, this is the time. So she's also just done a video about, I'll show you. So she's just done a video about the charts of Queen Elizabeth, King Charles, and William. So I did that in my last video as well. But she's pointing out the eclipses, the coming up eclipse on the 25th. So we've got King Charles, and we're going to have the eclipse right on his north node, right on his moon. I've got his moon at 6:24, so she had his moon at 7:24. That will just be the time of the placing that we have, which is different. But she pointed out that the Queen had her sun here. So that's what I was showing you. This is showing Prince Charles very dominated by this moon, the mother, women, and I'll show you again. Let's go to chart selection. Let's put transitions. So we'll have a look at all three charts again. North node, bang on the north node, Uranus, and underneath we've got Venus and the Sun conjunct on his south nodes, and we've also got south node conjunct, so it's pretty incredible. He's got Sun in Libra as well. I showed you all this in the last, and again, this big triangle, which I'm going to show you, we've got a crop circle showing us exactly this. He's got Jupiter and Mars conjunct like the Queen did, Jupiter in Sagittarius. And I've been over this, so we're just quickly looking at, so we look at the Queen. Let's put the Queen. And we'll have her with the transitions. So the Queen had her Sun at 6:29 and Charles has his moon at 6:24. So that's exactly the same thing. And she had, you see, Mars and Jupiter conjunct in Capricorn. And that is Martin. That is the energy. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. He and Mars are taking over the Queen, the 96, the big authority. And she had this big dart between Saturn opening her 10th house, that Queen Isis, Scorpio, that double-headed eagle. She's got the two sides of the eagle with this. Okay, and William for this eclipse. So he's born on an eclipse himself. North node, Sun, Moon, all conjunct in Gemini. We've got Mars will sit on his Sun for that date 322 on the wand of Merlin. And he's born with Mercury and Venus in Taurus and all this Virgo. And he's being activated now. So this big triangle between the earth signs is working with Pluto and Saturn, trining his Pluto and Saturn in Virgo. And there's a lot more to that, but I covered that in the last video. So let's carry on. Okay, I'm jumping straight to this one because this is to show you the crop circle that just come up. It's here. Okay, Aldebaran, Taurus, Bullseye, the deer. She is a cow, not a bull. Vashkiri, Capricorn is the head, not the cow. Taurus, where Mars will retro back over for solar eclipse 1025. Back over the Philosopher's Stone for a whole 7 months from 8-8. So Mars entered 8-8, heart to head, 88 constellations, and Mercury Mercury's cycle is 88 days. Let's see, Mercury cycle 88. It spins around the sun every 88 days, traveling through space at nearly 29 miles. So you see that 88 is also concerning Mercury. So from 8/8/2022 to 3/22/2023, Mars is in Taurus. The Torah, Torso, Taurus, Torquay, Fawlty Towers was in Torquay, the key to the Tor, Glastonbury, to Fawlty Towers, the death of the Mose Cow Girl, fertility, double 07, is masculine, feminine voice made into the singularity, 0770, the Queen ruled for 70 years. It's 777. You need the last leg angle 90-degree Egler to make 7777. The full 4 moon phases. Exalted, moon exalted in Taurus, fertility. So mainstream has the Queen, Sun in Taurus. The mother of Bambi. It's the bullseye, the flesh of the dart. Taurus, Mars, merging with Gemini, the child. In a brave new world. The philosophers rejected the true third eye. Formerholt, this is squaring you in the circle. Circle is the is what you're put in your grave. The Queen was carried on the gun's carriage. The gun is the G of the UN. The G is the gorge. The 7, the G spot, that last angle of the throat. And the UN is your diaphragm, the gun carriage. So carriage, gun, that's Mars. Of the womb is the ability to make the one-sex slave race, Akka, silver moon, gold sun, one stone voice, 007, Instagram. Aldebaran is the creation of free martins in order to control the population and make consequence-free sex easier. This is from the book, A Brave New World. Roughly 70% of all women are free martins. So again, got the 007. Defined as women who are sterilized in their artificial wombs by being exposed to higher than normal male hormones. This results in the female fetus becoming sterile. In some cases, the free martin will develop facial hair due to the hormone exposure. This is just one of many scientific advances that are used not to improve the lives of people, but to control them and ensure the continuation of the world state. Instead of science serving people in this world, science instead controls them for the benefit of the state. A symbol of a circle within a square, within a triangle, within a larger circle began to be used in the 17th century to represent alchemy and the philosopher's stone, which is the ultimate goal of alchemy. The philosopher's stone, which was sought for centuries, was an imaginary substance that alchemists believed would change any base metal into silver or gold. So the sun and the moon, silver and gold, and Mars and Venus rule that equinox. The lunar nodes, Rahu, Ketu, north node, south node, is that merging from the heart up to your head to the higher consciousness, so that you reach, as Aquarius falls onto the horizon, as the new horizon. It's not Virgo. It's not this. It's not bringing up the material girl. They're making the Taurus masculine. There are illustrations that include a squaring the circle design, such as one in Michael Myers' book, M.M., Meghan Markle, Atlanta Fuegians, first published in 1617. Here, a man is using a compass to draw a circle around a circle within a square, within a triangle. Within the smaller circle are a man and woman, the two halves of our nature that are supposedly brought together through alchemy. So there you've got Mars and Venus, and you've got Mars and Venus and Sagittarius, Jupiter. So this is the crop circle that's just come up a couple of days ago, showing us exactly that, the passage through the throats. We don't get stuck in it. I remember the video I did, one of the first videos, if you go back to one of the first videos I did the figure of eights. And I was explaining this without understanding what I was explaining. So 3 Martins, you can read that. See, you've got Mars and Venus here. Venus, Mars being made into that one purple rain here at the pulp. The octopus. The octopus is closing from 12 to 8. So this is also Patrick. So he's showing a mainstream image of the planets right now. So he's got Saturn in Aquarius. He's got Mars in Gemini. And he's got these guys all in Libra. So on mainstream, but we know that this is actually happening in, these 3 guys are in Virgo. Mars is in Taurus. And Saturn is in Capricorn. So we are at exactly the Philosopher's Stone, but on mainstream, it's happening in air. It's happening in air. The UN, the gun, the last 7, 007 is through the throat. There's Mars. He entered on the 8-8 into Taurus. Your 7-7 again, 007 through the throat passage. It's always the same thing. Mars was 9-11 on, I'm showing the passage of Mars here. So 9-11, Mars was on Aldebaran. She sells seashells on the seashore. Chelsea. Chelsea. Blocking the throat passage as we see St. George on the double-headed eagle. And it's just that anima, it's just that rising. This is where we're at now to get through the V, the throat passage. Then on the 12-12, we're going to have Mars back on Aldebaran again. There is your Martin and the Milky Way, the last closing of Chiron's last. The Chi-Rho is the last mutable cross closing to make the sword in the stone. So again, 2023, the 9th of February, we've got Mars again on Aldebaran as he's doing his dance around. And there we've got William Telltale, the bullseye. So what is going to happen with Charles and William? Venus flytrap. And then on the 322, Mars on the wand, on the wand of Merlin. 777, that's what they're showing us in all these tropical storms. They keep showing us those LLL 777. The voice passage. Venus in Libra is masculine. So this is actually Venus in Virgo. This is showing she sells seashells on the seashore. This is the full moon we're about to have. This is Venus in Virgo. Venus in Virgo, and there you've got the squaring of the Philosopher's Stone. We've got Mars in Taurus squaring Saturn retrograde in Capricorn and Venus in detriment, as King Charles has also got his Venus in detriment. So that image is V for victory, Venus in Virgo, and that's what they want, to merge Virgo and Libra. That is the story of Adam and Eve, and God created woman. It's not a true woman. See, she's so prude. She's covering herself. This is Venus in Virgo. Again, it's the Deer Hunter. It's been Russian roulette. The Vashkiri, they had a percentage, not everybody, whatever is in those Vashes Kiri, there's a different percentage with each one, with each Vash that people have taken, of the amount of people which will be made sterile. The last leg, hanging man. There's the Cairo. Okay. A post from 2 days ago, that was about the 6th of the 10th. So again, you can read that, showing you that 10-6. So we had 10-6, and tomorrow we've got 9-10. 10-6, 9-10. Virgo, Capricorn, and tomorrow Sagittarius, Capricorn. Mercury moved forwards. Mercury moved forward on the 2nd, but he rules Virgo, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. 10-6, 10-9. Another video from Uno. So what I noticed about the video, this is not the video from Uno, but this is a video where the woman is called, the woman telling you about this North Korea, the journalist. This is what interests me, is her name. So there we go, Janice McKay. Mac key, the Mac key. The Mac is the pimp. Mac means pimp. I've been over what it means. It's that Scottish. MC is the top. So Janet is Virgo, not January. This is the janitor. This is the gatekeeper. So I put here the song from Damn It, Janet, from the Rocky Horror Show. Oh, Brad, oh, damn it, I'm mad. Oh, Janet, for you, I love you. Brad and Janet, BJ, Boaz and Jackie, Joe Bidham, Boris Johnson, JB. God is gracious, GG77. Pluto, last in 10th house Capricorn in 1766, moves forward into Janus, Janet, the janitor, January, Capricorn, 9669, for 20 years. Pluto in Capricorn, Mars in Taurus, and Sun, Venus, ruler of Taurus and Mercury, moving forward in Virgo, the triple trine goddesses. Pluto will enter Janus 1/3/2023. So, 2023, 1/3. So we've got our 3113. That is bringing up what they want. The 13th sign of Fucius. And there is Pluto in Capricorn. So big day, that day. Saturn will still be in Capricorn the day that Pluto enters. Pluto will enter Janus 1/3, B3, Janus Joplin, B13, Joplin, Gigi, Jour, G. So why did I put God is gracious again? It's the meaning. I think that it's the name, what Janus means or something. Janus, meaning. Yep, God is gracious. Janus means God is gracious. So GG again, Georgie, JJ, GG, Gregorian, Julian calendars. Janice, McKay, McKee, Mac, Pimp, Key with Hebrew origins. Janice is a gender-neutral name meaning God is gracious. Janice is a unique take on the traditional Jane for girls. Janice is an Arabic name for boys that means ripe fruit. So little Mercury being turned into this girl, making those DNA strands into one voice, the little boys and the little girls. Ripe fruits. Normally Virgo is the ripe fruit, not the little boy. Okay, regarding the storms, reminder, Flora, Ida, Florida, is to make fear from Ida, Florence Nightingales, the A-lion, N, egg is the North Star. And the alien, A-L-I-N, is your guts, your courage, heart, torso, talkie, to breathe. N is breath, or hate, N. So I'd written that 5 days before. Regarding Florida storms, Florida flora, bacteria and other organisms that live inside the intestines. Just like in Alien, it's all about the guts. They help digest food. Vitamins such as biotin and vitamin K are made by gut flora, also called gut microflora. So we've got Chiron conjunct to the moon for this full moon. It's the key. It's the key. It's the key. So conjunct. This is the last. Chiron's last. K, vitamin K. Intestinal flora, intestinal microflora and microflora. Florence, Nightingale, Putin, Gale, Good, Gal, Whale, Will I Am, Telltale. F and TM. So Florence and the Machine. Florence and the Machine. Virgo rules the fallopian tubes and digestive system, which includes the intestines and spleen. These people have an instinctive intuition about their well-being, such as a gut instinct or gut feeling, and as such are the most health conscious of the signs. Ida is the daughter of Minos, the bull god. Ida, daughter of Corbius and mother of Minos. Ida, one of the nurses of Zeus in Greek mythology. So Florence Nightingale, the nurse. This is, as I always show you, the little Virgo girl with the older man, the guru, Sagittarius. In Greek mythology, Minos was a king of Crete, son of Zeus and Europa. Europe, that scorpion. Every 9 years, he made King Agus pick 7 young boys and 7 young girls, 7 GG, to be sent to Daedalus' creation, the labyrinth. I've got the labyrinth in my village to be eaten by the Minotaur. That's why they kill the bulls in my village 8 every Easter day. After his death, Minos became a judge of the dead in the underworlds. So people seem to like that a lot, so I'll read it to you. Everything you are now will decompose after you die. Why so much pride, so much greed, so much evil, so much ego for what? Honestly, once you see the funny side, once you see how you are seen and just accept who you are through the different lenses of perceptions, knowing who you really are, then you can let go and be what you are wholly. That's simple. Just get on with being yourself with modesty and grinning as the Cheshire Cat, 33 cc, at yourself and the show we are all in. To be the fool on the hill, you've got to be the scarecrow, you've got to stand up straight. Scarecrow is on that mutable cross. He stands with his legs open and apart and his head above, or he's hung upside down like St. Andrew. There is a crossing, Cheshire Cat, so at yourself, the show we are all in, so you can just laugh at yourself. There is a crossing where nothing, no matter how awful, can create self-dramas ever again. So people telling me there's another smear campaign on me, there's nothing more you can take away from me. Last year's smear campaign, a certain lady had my whole Victoria Cotton account taken off in a day. And I mean, such a big smear campaign, but I've had it all the time. You know, I'm 12th house. It's a place of hidden enemies and, you know, real danger. It's a really scary place. But once I detach from the drama, I can stay centered. It doesn't matter what people say and do. What matters is, as I'm going to say here, no matter how awful, can create self-dramas ever again. No matter what happens, you've already been fully tested. You never feel down again. It's simply not worth it. And when you do feel blue, just wait till you have passed through that feeling. Only self-pressure and self-criticism causes pain. If you're doing the utmost to be correct, according to your value system, and you nurture and guard your own energy field intact, you can do no more. So we've got Vladimir Putin's chart. Noticed incredible things as well. I have to remind myself now, what was I thinking? Vladimir Putin chart with full moon transitions showing. So this is the full moon. This 910 Aka 10-6 through the mirror. Born year of the water dragon, 1952. Sun in Putin, obviously. So he's got Sun in Virgo. The Virgo Armistice Alice, Whore of Babylon. Sun in Virgo, exact 19 degrees where full moon is, 910. 910 is 10-6, Mad Haters, T-Rex, Scotty Party. So that's Charles's new monogram. It's CR, Charles Rex. So that CR is Russia or, you know, Canada, Russia, China, Russia. Transiting Venus conjunct, transiting Sun on Putin, Sun opening its 12th door into the fear and chaos of the unknown. Rising Libra with Venus, ruler of Taurus, where he has his moon and ruler of his ascendant, is currently conjunct tail of snake, Alpha Omega. Well, you can read that and let's have a look at the pictures. So this is his date of birth, the 7th of the 10th, 1952, 9:30 in St. Petersburg. So Peter is crucified upside down. And Paul Newman, Polo, Pete and Paul, Polo, Argentina is being risen. So here we got Sun, Saturn, Mercury on Spica, Venus in Libra. We've got his Mars right on the dot that kills Europe, that kills the Scorpion. So he's gonna, you know, this is, you know, goodness gracious. Moon in Taurus, so very important. They've got a lot of these rulers have got this energy. I showed you Elizabeth born, Queen Elizabeth as well. And Jupiter right on Algol, and he's got Jupiter retro in Aries on Algol Medusa, conjunct to Uranus. So here is his chart. And I think I've got the transitions here for the full moon. So Sun is going to be absolutely on his Sun with Venus in detriments. We've got Mercury. His Mercury is right on Spica. So Mercury will be coming up to Spica, onto his Spica. We've got Venus at home, and we've got the tail of the snake bang on his Venus. And we've got Uranus bang on. So yeah, it's not that it's conjunct on his chart. It's for the full moon. Uranus and the head of the snake. So he's got Aries in his 7th house. His door to other people. So this energy of the fighter. He's a military man. And, you know, this is war. We've got Uranus in Aries right on his retrograde Jupiter. And we've got the tail right on his Venus in Libra. And Venus rules where his moon is in Taurus. And here's Mars. It's going to go over his 8th house of death, the people, death and rebirth, 8th house. And Uranus is going to be with this conjunction. He's opening, Aries opens the door into his 8th house. And so, yeah, in his 8th house, starts here. It's no Taurus, but Uranus will be coming into Taurus soon. And he's got his ruler, Venus in Libra, and Venus, Pluto, you see, bang in the middle. His 3rd house of communication has got that energy that they want. Sagittarius, Pluto moving into Capricorn, this other side of Putin as Pluto moves into Capricorn, the ruthless. He's got his south node in Capricorn, his north node in Capricorn, and Saturn is right on top of his north nodes. And so he's got his south node in 69, his north node in 96. And he's got Kali, Cancer, destruction that opens his door, being opened with Saturn opposites into the 10th house. And he's got his 10th house ruled by the moon, which is in Taurus, opening his 10th house, which is in this Leo energy. So what did I write? I'll have to go back down. So transiting Venus conjunct transiting Sun on Putin's Sun, opening his 12th door into the fear and chaos of the unknown. So yeah, Uranus is on his Uranus. My goodness. No, that's full moon. Let's not get confused here. Let's get Putin's chart. Vladimir. So his 12th house is right here opening. So the Sun, this has got the transitions for the eclipse. So let's put the transitions. So now we've got the transitions for the full moon. So the full moon is right on his Sun, opening the door into the 12th house of the unknown, where he's got Saturn, which rules his north node, and his gates into his Saturn, Capricorn, Aquarius, where Pluto is also opening the gates. Okay. Rising Libra with Venus, ruler of Taurus, where he has his moon, and ruler of his ascendant is currently conjunct tail of snake, Alpha Omega, as his Jupiter in Aries is conjunct transiting north node. Full moon in Pisces conjunct Jupiter retro on whale's tail in detriment on his Sun, and all his planets in Virgo 12th house, all squaring his Uranus in Gemini on Sirius, keeper of the four corners, boxing Pollux ring. So he's got Jupiter in Aries. Uranus is bang on his Jupiter, making this square. This big Jupiter is receiving Saturn on his north nodes and the opening into his 10th house. And this is, the Sun and the Moon merging, and he's got his Pluto right in that 10th house in Leo. Just in Leo. '11th, 12th house in Virgo, great spy. Yep, so all squaring his Uranus in Gemini on Sirius. So where's it here? He's got, so we've got the moon squaring here. We've got all these planets, the Sun making this square to his Uranus on Sirius. He's the great general. He's the great military. Other countries. 9th house. And it's all activating back on his moon, the people in Algol, death. So somebody wrote Putin is dead. It's another one, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that this character, this archetype, has been given the charts that will open what they want. We don't even know what these people are, if they're clones or actors or whatever, but this is the chart, which is important. The chart is telling us the story. Gemini is, he's moon squares his Uranus and Gemini in 9th house, foreign affairs on Sirius, guru, spiritual leader. Gemini is logic, military. This is Sirius is the military. Sirius is the keeper of the four corners. He's a peasant, dutiful and hard-working, simplistic and calculating, analytical, and very Jack and Jill, right and wrong, left, right, commercial mentality. It's not a great, great man. This is exactly the character they need from this spy to the president of Russia and the man that controls our fear, Pluto, the submarine, the subconscious mind. His natal Jupiter, retro in Aries, 7th house, war and open enemies. His Jupiter is currently conjunct, transiting Uranus in Aries. Natal Jupiter opposite his Venus at home, domicile in Libra, but in 1st house Aries energy. See, opposition here. And that Venus is in Libra, but it's in the 1st house, which is the Aries. And that 7th house is the Libra energy in Aries. Alpha, Omega again. This is going to be exactly where Charles has got his sun and his. So let's have a look for let's have a look at the eclipse. 25th. So the eclipse on the 25th, it's a partial solar eclipse. So again, we're going to have that tail right on the Venus and Uranus there still. Mars, ruler of Aries, on the dart of the flesh of the archer, Sagittarius, right where the 13th sign of Fucius, the Instagram rises. The flesh that kills Isis, Scorpio, Europe, and rises the hero Virgin Girls. His natal Pluto on Regulus, Leo, feet of Jesus, very Mary Magdalene again. Pluto goes direct from 8:10, that's today, the day before, and will trine his Pluto in Leo in 10th house. South Node in Cancer opens his 10th house of the public eye. The moon is exalted, ruler of his 10th house, cusp is Cancer. So his moon is exalted and that rules his 10th house. Cancer, Cali, 6996, Royal Arc. So he's got bang the Royal Arc. There's your 69 of the Royal Arc. I mean, this is exactly the Royal Arc. The other way around. You've got an Aries normally here, but doesn't matter. We've still got the Royal Arc. Back to front. Upside down. But he does have his North Node in Capricorn. So, you know, what role is he really playing? The moon is exalted, ruler of his 10th house, cusp is Cancer, Cali, 6996, Royal Arc, moon in Taurus, and Venus, ruler, sits in domicile in Libra, where tail of Milky Way, Holy Grail, scales of the hourglass, tick-tock. Pluto square to his Jupiter and transiting Uranus, opening its powerhouse, 10th door in Leo, Leon. Leon is Noel, Elon, same thing. Transiting Saturn is about to hit exact his south node when Saturn moves forward in Capricorn, 3rd house again, authority and logic and control of his direct environment. 3rd house, Gemini energy. He is scholarly and has the determination of a schoolboy that leads the Lord of the Flies. Transiting South Node, it's on his Venus in Libra, 1st house. Transiting North Node in Aries on his Jupiter. Okay. So again, JC is BC, Billy Connolly, Scotland is the head, not John Cleese, JC, and Annus Domino is the DC descendant, Portobello, and Moby's Dick is Monty Python, the Milky Way snake, dragon, whale's tail, Q, faulty DNA, Dan Towers fell in Torquay, Torso, Taurus, Taurus field. AD stands for Anno Domino, Latin for in the year of the Lord, and it refers specially to the birth of Jesus Christ. BC stands for before Christ. So this is not the 9 o'clock news. Monty Python worshippers, go and watch that. It's a comedy showing you the inversion we're living and what this Moby Dick, Charles Dickens, is really about. It's a lovely image of the double-headed eagle, of the anima and the animus. This is the passage we're making now. We should be able to make this throat passage. Standing on the dragon. You don't want to get stuck at the throat, at the eagle. You have to find your masculine and feminine. This is interesting. The Q tail. Q is the willy, whale's tail. I am, telltale. St. Andrew's the passage through the wardrobe. Armoire. Snooker uses 22 balls, including a white ball known as the striker ball. So don't forget that dart mission to put the asteroid off course was called DART. And that's exactly what it was doing. It's the striker ball. A cue stick is an item of sporting equipment essential to the games of pool, snooker and carom billiards. It is used to strike a ball, usually the cue ball. Cues are tapered sticks, typically around 57 to 59 inches long. The time that Pluto spent in Cetus, between 16 and 21 ounces. That's 7 is 16 and 21 is 777. So 16 is 7. You need 21 plus that last 7. That's why the Tour Eiffel is on the hats of the Seine, on either side of the Seine in the 16th arrondissement and the 7th arrondissement. Sorry. With professionals gravitating towards a 19-ounce average, a cue stick, or simply cue, more specifically billiards, cue, pull, cue, or snooker cue is an item of sporting equipment essential to the games of pool, snooker, and carom billiards. It's used to strike a ball, usually the cue ball. The crown, orb, and sketch symbolize the monarch's power and governance, and so it is removal separated the queen from her crown for the last time following her 70-year reign. Queen's casket lowered in royal vault. So check out this little video of Prince Willie, first seen. And what number ball do they show us? It's an 8, is it? So he's at St. Andrews. He's being filmed at the Cross, the Passage, his university at St. Andrews, playing billiards. And they're having a right old laugh here. We've got Amit, Devourer of the Dead, in his book, carrying. Go and look at the last video I did. He's born on the summer solstice, 216. And they show a lot of this cue and the stick showing us that he's going to become king at the Passage. He's got 7 angles here, 2 angles. They're showing us his scholarly Gemini in Sagittarius. So this is what they're giving us. They're flipping us from the feminine axis, Virgo, Pisces, to Sagittarius and Gemini. He's born with his black moon, an eclipse, a solar eclipse. And then we've got the two boys. He's got a 7 here or something. The twin boys playing polo, Sagittarius, Paul. Father's got 4, the 4 corners, the 2, a 3, and a 1. It's the team. So a team sports. Aquarius is teams, groups. So polo, all these sports, teams, the true team spirit is Aquarius. Gemini, they've just put in the newspapers in France today, the facteur So fact checker, facts is the postman, that's Hermes, the messenger, Gemini, and they're showing us it's going to be the end of post boxes. We're going into digital air. There's going to be no more material letters. This is Gemini taking the place of the 11th house, which is his two double twins. Okay, this is just pictures to make you think. So you've got the 3 lions. So I've got to wheel all the way down. Okay, I hope it works this time. So this is Narnia. They've got 2 black berries on. The Gascon berries. What's somebody written here? The ones showing us who they serve, there must be a choice. Okay. They've got all those got their poppies on. Enid Blyton, got the little boat as we see in the Truman Show. The islands. Scooby-Doo, you've got the dog Sirius in the middle, which is also the lion. And the same thing there in the middle of them both. And there you've got the funeral, which looks very much like the Amy Winehouse Back to Black. The death of the Queen. The last battle, you've got Taurus, you've got Pan. You've got the wolves eating. Where we're at. So 6996, this is the lion killing the moon, exactly like the chart here. As Pluto moves into Capricorn, it's going to move into, so his third is going to move, it's going to be exactly opposite his Uranus as well. So he's got exactly what they want. This Gemini opening the 9th house, and this sun, and that's the moon and the sun, Pluto in the sun in his 10th house, as Saturn moves into Aquarius, that will then oppose here. And they want Pluto, they want Leo, they want Babylon. Interesting, okay. So this is Scotland's, the lion at the head when it's Aquarius at the heads. And there's that lion, it's the same thing in Scooby-Doo with the big dog in between the children. Mary Magdalene at the feet, just like he's got Pluto on the feet of Jesus, Mary Magdalene. The feet of Jesus, the whore, the poot, the hooker, taking the MC. This energy of the hidden hand, the moon energy, that hidden hand. He's got South Node in Cali. So again, it's the all for one, one for all, cold, wet, hot, dry, phlegm, blood, yellow bile, black bile, the 4 seasons to find the 5th element. The 5th element is the passage through. It's not the 13th sign. G7, GG, Gemini. I don't know why I throw all this in. It's just on a feeling. The world, that's Virgo, that 8, so Virgo on the horizon, the 8 lying down, 21, the world, 777. Closed umbrella, the hook, the bowl, the barrel, the bowls, the bowl, the fish bowl, the bowler hats of Mr. Penguin, Elon and his charming wife, the eye of the Georgia Guy stones, they brought that down, Lily, the umbrella, Mr. Tumnus, the lamppost, the Umbrella Academy, it's the fleur-de-lis. The bee was used as a symbol of royalty by the immortal Charlemagne, and it is probable that the fleur-de-lis, or lily of France, is merely a conventionalized bee and not a flower. There is an ancient Greek legend to the effect that the 9 muses occasionally assumed the form of bees. So Scorpio is that true lily, lotus flower. The Beatles, Dr. Strangelove. They always show, here they're only showing 2 legs. 2 legs. 3 legs, bent, the horse, 9th house. So, Sagittarius. Miranda disappears, and the lady in red, Venus in Virgo, comes, and all the black and white girls, they don't want this masculinized Mars in Taurus. So we got normally it's the 2 crescent moons and the full moon and the dark moon, and they've made this triple goddess and the upside down 5-pointed star. Squared circle, that cap of the revolutionaries. So that's what they were wearing, the girls, Kate and Megan in that first picture. Boaz and Jacqueline, sealed with a loving kiss. P.S. I love you from Russia with love. Peter Sellers, the Pooh Bell, P.B. Paddington Bear, P.B. 82nd element is lead. So we've got red, white and black, the Passage, the Pink Panther, we've got golds, he's got his T-Rex cozy, T-cozy on. National Velvet, so Elizabeth Taylor, National Velvet is just another word for the arsehole. She's riding the pie, and then in International Velvet, she also starred with her father, Ryan O'Neill. Ryan and Tatum O'Neill plays the American girl who takes over from England, the mother, and she's got all the mud, all the shit all over her. There she is with the foal. The foal is the fowl, the Virgo girl with Sagittarius. Elizabeth Taylor and Elizabeth, all predicative programming. Scissor Sisters, that's where the full moon is. Scissor Sisters is the mutable cross. Moon in Pisces, on the whale's tail, conjunct Jupiter. Let's go back to the full moon tomorrow. So right now, as we speak, we've got the moon and Jupiter and that full moon. Yeah, it's going to be tonight. It's this morning, early in the morning. So we did have the moon conjunct to another fish tail in Capricorn a few days ago for that 10-6. Ours was at 10-5. 10-5 is 15. So for 10-6, we had the moon on the true goatfish tail, and now for this full moon it's going to be on the whale's tail. And here we have Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and as I always say, this is about the throat, the gorge. They need the king that rules at the throat. We've got the two pillars here, the spine, the Christmas tree, and the four corners. Always the same story. Picture from Lars, the umbrella, showing you the opening and the shutting of this octopus that they're showing us today. Got the octopus. I mean, can you imagine that? The day of the pulp fiction. Pulp fiction. The four legs going around the North Pole, and here she is, their new fifth element. We've got Lara Croft, the girls with guns. Paddy Bear. And then these lines I've showed you. Got the Rose line. It's the Elizabeth line. Asia, Africa, Middle East, European, Russia, and Scotland. This is the cross we're leaving, so we've got the moon in Pisces, sun in Virgo. The true gateway, Venus makes that 5-petal in Taurus, and we've got Mars at the moment going around. So when the wheel closes properly, we leave the mutable cross. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, Pisces, Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. That's Michael Jackson, John Milton, Mick Jagger, John McEnroe. It's the MJ. And the wheel closes properly, so we find the passage through the heart to air, higher consciousness. Champ de Mars, the avenues, the eye of the octopus, Canada and America merging through the fleur-de-lis. In The English Patient, the American man comes from Canada, William Dafoe. And next to where I live, we have Montreal, de Gers. So it's French. Canada is half French. This is Paris, Texas again. The throat. Okay. So this is something that interests me. The last of the Moluccans. So these are religious sects of people in Russia. Willie and Kate, this is Catherine the Great, represents Capricorn, merged with Sagittarius, Willie and Kate. Empire Europe, make the Queen Bee, 13 Yellow Fire, Asia, Black Earth, Russia, USSR, USA, Canada, Harry and M.M. Markle, 007, Middleton. She's called Middletone. Kate, Ra-R, the cow, Mose cow, Milky Way snake. In Vanovka, it's home to the last Soviet collective farm and group of dissident Christians called the Moluccans, who were forced out of Russia by Catherine the Great. Catherine, Princess of Wales, GCVO, is a member of the British royal family. She is married to William, Prince of Wales, heir apparent to the British throne, making Catherine the likely next queen consort. So something going on with Catherine the Great. And this, I'd never heard of the Quakers. I found out because I was watching something about Judi Dench. And she said that she was a Quaker. So I went to go and find out what the Quakers were, because this is everything I've explained in so many old videos. It's the coin coin in French. The coin is the sound the duck makes. Coin coin, quack quack, quake quake. The can of adders, canton, can, tintin. Badaboom, Pluto last retro in Sagittarius. The catapult is released from 810 as Pluto begins his journey into Capricorn. So last there 244 years ago, where he enters 2023, and in 2024 we will celebrate the B13 yellow-black fate merging of the Sagittarius, Jupiter and Capricorn Saturn, when Mother Earth, Gaia, Capricorn and Father Air, Aquarius is Saturn's twin peaks. The Fox, Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, where Pluto ends 17 years and 10 signs since his Victorian era passage in Moby's belly. Dix, Satan, the light of Lol, Lucifer, our Lord, is shown for all to see. Faith has no foundation if it can't get raw and real. That's why the pop-off is coming, because faith expands. It does not give you knowledge. So Jupiter is faith, belief programs, but without a foundation, it's got no legs to stand on. Jupiter on the whale's tail, blocking the gates home to Twin Peaks, Capricorn, Fish, Goat, and Aquarius, holder of the water, the womb, the knowing. Jupiter is faith, religion, and invented ideologies. It's expansion and man-made laws. Jude's law. Jude Peter, Jude Paul are not birds. They are dicks and mind-control belief programs. They will make you pop rather than return home to implode, contraction, rigor, responsibility, and old age. So Quaker's very interesting. Go and look it up. And then people start talking. I've never heard all this time. I've been talking about the ducks, Quaker. That is exactly the Little House on the Prairie. All this, and that Russia is all that energy of the land as well. These same people in Russia, the Molochans, they believe in the Holy Spirits. And he's got, this is the same as the Yiddish and now the English. All that ish stands for the Yiddish. It's the Ark of the Covenant is the name British. So they're bringing all their Quakers and Molochs and Yiddish, Little House of the Prairie. So Apollo, so Pete, Paul and Apollo, bringing up, you can read all this on your own because this is already too long. Charles de Gaulle had Apollo at 14 Libra, no. This I've taken from a site. The link is in there, but you can read that. This is about Apollo. And this is Rocky Horror Show. I'm going to make you a man. So this is Olivia Newton-John. It's all let's get physical, yoga, bodybuilding, everything to keep you in the flesh. That's great. It's a process to go through. Virgo, health. But then you've got to find your spirit again. Got to merge spirit with the flesh. So being completely focused on the flesh is what the green man, the fertility god, just like in A Brave New World. This is incredible. I noticed the golden age of show jumping. Nick Skelton riding Abdullah at the World Championships of 1986. So that was the closing of Pluto, last year of Pluto in Virgo, held in Aachen, Germany, just as we had G7 this year. So it's at the time where they used to swap horses. I don't think they do it anymore. The winner was called Gail Greener. She was a 26-year-old Canadian riding Mr. T. And then you had you had Pierre Durand. So this is each time they had to ride each other's horses. But you had Pierre Durand, who had Japalou, Jap Alou. I've already spoken about him with his little black horse. You've got Conrad Homefeld, and it's some incredible lineup. But I just couldn't believe So 1986 was the year of the tiger as it is now. 36 years ago, that's the life of Pi, year of the tiger again. Winner was GG7, Gail Greener. Gigi is Gigi Georgie. She was 26, that's the 8. 2 and 6 makes 8. Of Edmonton, Ed is the heads. Age 26, so maybe she comes from Edmonton or something, I can't remember. So Mont is the to lie, but it's also the chin. The menton is your chin, by the hair of your chinny chin. And ton is tone and uncle. Canada, Cantin, Ada, the udder, won the World Show Jumping Championships riding the horse Mr. T, Sword in the Stone. Gail took on the world's best to become the first Canadian and youngest rider to win the championship in Germany. A total of 72. The sun moves 1 degree every 72 years from 23 countries, 23 twin pairs of DNA. So the riders' names tell you. We've got Nick, Nike, St. Nick's, Skeleton, Skull and Crane Bones, St. Nicholas riding Abdullah. They swapped horses, so Green, Canada, Mr. T, USA riding was Abdullah, Great Britain, Nick Skelton was Apollo, and France, Pierre Durand was Japelou. So those are the countries in the mix. Canada, USA, Great Britain and France. Apollo 11, 11th FN, it was the 11th FEI Jumping World Championships. Yeah, well, there you have it. These things just blow my mind, but I see so much every single day. So this is just very beautiful. You can read that. Corona is the yeah, I've still got a lot to show. Oh, no, I showed you it in the last video. Great, we're at the end. So the triple L goddess, waxing, waning, crescent moons each side of the full moon, big ears, is when we integrate the girl Virgo, Artemis, the mother Taurus, Diana, and the old crone, Capricorn, Hecate. And this is where we've got for this full moon, let's go back to the full moon, is exactly, we've got the triple goddesses, this big trine between Saturn as the old crone in Capricorn, Mars in Taurus, and Venus and the Sun in Virgo. Venus rules Taurus, making the Sun, making masculine, these femmes solar, making these earth energies fiery with Mars, Instagram. Then we find the deadly motherland, the new moon, dark side of the moon. We are a whole moon cycle is 28 days, 7777, the 4-tune corners, not 21777. Mercury retrograde. There are 13 new moons on correct constellations without leap years. Most years have 12 new moons, one each month, but our calendar is not perfectly synchronized with astronomical events. Therefore, every now and then, a year has 13 new moons, and they're giving us the 13th sign of Fucius that holds the Milky Way snake. So this is very beautiful. I'll let you read that. If you want to be a badass, sexually empowered woman, embrace your inner hag. And I let you read that. There we go. So the new song of FTM, Florence and the Machine, is all about daffodils. Daffodil, daffodil is a yellow flower with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little petals going round. And that's why in Gerald the Gorilla, GG77, that very funny clip that I often show, where the professor took the gorilla, and now the gorilla seems to be more educated than the professor. And it's all about, at the end, he eats a daffodil, the daffodil speaks, and we've got Florence with her red hair Venus in Virgo, the High Priestess, Florence Nightingale, Girl, Wales. Her recent track, Daffodil, Daffy Duck. So this is somebody from my past videos who pointed this out to me. Daffy Duck, DD44, D-Day, explains, Gerald the Gorilla. So that's the comment that the girl, this person, Alana, I think, wrote on my last video. Very good, very clever. Well done, Alana. Last post, somebody posted this, and you can read that. This is the Taurus bullseye, but it's also the shape of the noddy hat at the top, the cherry on the top. It's the mosque, it's the bullseye. And you look at this map, flat earth map, and you've got the whole earth as a whale with the whale's tail. The whale's tail. Is that what is, that confuses me. What countries are those? Well, there you see, you've got the touching of America and Europe and Russia. This is exactly making us flat. And there's nothing flat. So in this picture, it would seem we've got the whole earth in the tit of the hat. And this picture is better explained because you can see, so the sun and the moon closing at that equinox, and it's a whole spectrum, the 5-pointed star at the top, and the passage through the donut, the microcosm and the macrocosm, the Mac and the mic, the voice, Virgo and the pimp, Sagittarius, 6-9, the 6 Virgo, 9 Sagittarius is coming tomorrow, the 10-9. Okay, darlings, that's another 2-hour video. I just can't do it any other way. And I'll see you again soon. All my love. Bye for now.